10:30, no later than drop them drawers. I know what you want. I ask myself, is this shit real? I contemplate about how I feel, but you make it way too hard to think that this could be what you love. It took a lot of hard shit just to learn how not to break down.
Hey girl. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I installed this wig from start to finish. This is a wig that I already installed previously, so this is a like how to install a old wig, a used wig, already cut wig type of that type of video. So I'm gonna be showing you guys how I did this, how I flat ironed it, how I put it on, how I did the baby hairs, how I did everything start to finish. This is beginner friendly because y'all, I know how it is. When I just started, I did not know what I was doing. Y'all, this is the 26-inch from WIGGINS Hair. I don't remember. I'm gonna put it in the description. I'm gonna put this wig in the description. It's 26 inches. It's from WIGGINS Hair. HD lace, all of that. I think it was $432. But yeah, yo, this is probably like, I don't even know how many times I installed this wig, but this is really my go-to wig, y'all. Like, this is definitely beginner friendly. I recommend it, and I really love it. So if you guys want to see how I installed this, keep watching. Okay guys, so we're starting off with our wig cap. I'm showing you guys the wig on the stand, how it looks when it's not on my head. When it's on the stand, it might look a little crazy, but trust me girl, if you had it put on before, it's gonna look cute. Now we're taking the wig cap, we're putting it past our ears. The further you can get it, the better. My wig cap is a little small, so I couldn't put it past my eyes, but if you could get it past your eyes, I say do it. Now we're gonna cut some holes by my ears. Always cut behind your ear. Behind your ear. Because I noticed that when I cut like on my ear and front of my ear, the sideburn part of the wig cap gets a hole in it. I don't know. If you know, you know. Just don't cut. Cut behind your ear. Now we're going to be using some Got To Be glue spray. We're going to be spraying it with the blow dryer because it does drip down. You're just going to spray it on your sideburns. Well, no. On your edges. My fault. But this is going to get everywhere. You're going to spray it on the wig cap too, like where your braids are, but just a little bit, not too much. But make sure your edges are gelled back before you put your wig cap on, and the edges in the back are gelled back because you want to protect your edges, baby. Once you can run your fingers smoothly across your hairline like I just did, we're going to go in with the black Got To Be glue gel. This we're going to be using a thin layer. You just need a thin layer because you're going to be blow drying this, and you don't want to be blow drying it forever because this does take a long time to dry. Now we're going to be putting it where our hairline and our skin meets. Just right there. That's all you need. You don't need it further back. You don't need it closer forward. Try to avoid getting it too much on your forehead because you are going to have to peel that back. But if you do, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We'll just peel it back. But now we're going to just blow dry, blow dry, blow dry. I noticed that when you shake the blow dryer back and forth, it does dry the hair quicker. So if you're having a problem drying your hair, just shake back and forth. Now you see me testing it to see if it's dry. I run my finger around my hairline. If it goes smoothly, it's good. Now we're going to focus on cutting all of the wig cap that isn't glued down first. So you're just going to cut everywhere that's glued down. Me, I cut behind my ears when I'm cutting it off because I don't want to cut my ears. I'm just more comfortable cutting behind my ears when I cut it. So yeah, you're just going to cut everything that is not glued down first. Now we're going to be peeling some of the wig cap back. What you want to do is you want to peel until it reaches your hairline. Don't peel past your hairline. You might see a little bit like tiny hairs or whatever. That's cool, but don't peel past your hairline. Now we're going to take the scissors. We're going to line it parallel to our scalp, I guess. I don't know. And we're going to cut. Making it parallel is going to help you cut as much wig cap off as you can. If this is a wig you never put on before or you're a beginner, after this step, you're going to want to try on the wig and put it on as if you were putting it actually on. Just to make sure that all of the wig cap is cut off and that you don't see any once you put the wig on. Because once you put the glue and you're putting your wig on, you cannot cut back the wig cap. The wig cap, once the glue hits, that's it. For my glue, I'm going to be using the Hold Me Down Lace Glue by Erica J. And I'm going to be using the end of a toothbrush to apply it to my wig cap, y'all. Using the ends of rat tail combs, we're leaving that in 2021. It's too small. You're not getting enough glue on your hair. Just use the toothbrush or use the end of like a eyebrow razor, or just use something that has a big end. And we're just going to be putting dots on the wig cap. We're not going to be putting it on our skin yet, just on the wig cap. After you apply all the dots to your hairline, you're going to want to wait a little bit just because this is the first layer and we're going to need this layer to stick. Like, we're not going to need it to dry. So notice what I'm doing when it zooms in. You want to get the end of the wig cap that is still sticking up stuck down to your forehead. Stuck down to your forehead. If you can see me doing it, you'll see me going back over it so that it's stuck down to my forehead. Now we're going to start our second layer of glue. This layer we're not going to have to wait for it to dry because we don't need this layer to glue the ends of the wig cap down to our forehead. Before we apply our last layer, we're going to put the wig on our head. So you're going to make sure that the two little things, I don't even know what those are called, but you're going to make sure that they're hooked so that your wig is tight. Make sure your wig is tight enough for you. Make sure it's not too tight, just tight. And now we're going to be brushing where the lace is. We're going to be brushing the baby hairs all that back so that when we do put the wig on, it doesn't get in the glue or anything. Also, if you are a beginner, you can hot comb it back. I noticed when I first started, hot combing it back was the best bet for me because it prevented all the hair from getting on the glue. Because when you first start, you might not know how to like fix it real quick and get the hair off the glue and stuff like that. But yeah. So now we're going to put the hair in a ponytail. This also helps getting the hair out of your face and not touching the glue. And we're just going to make sure that the sideburns are lined up, that everything is lined up. Because once you put the wig on, there's not much fixing you can do once it's on. And now we're going to apply our third layer of glue. You can see me putting a little bit of glue on my forehead. That's because I know with this wig, it does come down on my forehead a little bit. So I do put some on my forehead. If you want your wig to come down on the forehead, you could do what I did in the center. But make sure when you do try the wig on, you know exactly how much you need to place. Don't place any glue past the wig. That's going to mess you up in the long run. If you place glue too far back and the wig's still lifting in the like front, we're going to fix that. Just don't place too much glue where it's coming out. Once you put the wig on, you can still see glue. You don't need that. Now we're going to start blow drying a little bit, but not too much. You do not want the glue to be fully dry. You just want it to be mostly dry, like 70% dry. Now we're about to actually put the wig on. I know this part was hard for me when I was beginning, but what you really need to do is just make sure all of the hair is away from the lace. So if you need to hot comb it back, do that. So first you're gonna start with putting on the middle, then you're gonna put on the sides. Y'all, if it like ripples or anything like that, you can take it off really quick and put it back down. It's not gonna affect anything because the glue isn't fully dried. Make sure the glue is not fully dried when you're trying to put your wig on. Make sure you can still see a little bit of white, which is wet glue, and not just all clear. All clear means it's dried. Well, it's not dry, it's still tacky, but it's dried mainly. So now I'm going to use my brush to brush the lace into my scalp. You probably should use a comb, but y'all, I couldn't find a comb. I'm lazy. I just use a brush, so yeah. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now. Now we're going to be brushing all the hair back. If you hot comb the hair, you can hot comb it again. If you didn't hot comb it, you can hot comb it. I just brush it back. That's just what I do. But you want all the lace to be exposed because we're now about to fix all the lace that's still lifting up. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull the lace back as much as you can without pulling it too much that you're ripping it off of the glue. You're going to pull it back as much as you can and take a thin layer of glue, and put it underneath the lace that is still lifting. For this part, you are going to want to use something smaller to apply the glue and not the end of a toothbrush. For me, I think I was using like a duck pin, a duck clip, because that's what I found, y'all. I just use anything small that I can find. If you want to use the end of a rat tail comb now, that's probably your best bet, especially if you're a beginner. That's probably your best bet. As you can see here, I'm applying a thin layer of glue. If anything, I'm actually taking some of the glue off. If the glue needs to blow dry, because this glue you want to be a little more dry. Because when you apply glue and it's not dry enough and you stick the hair down, the baby hairs, everything's going to get glued down too because the glue is too wet. And it might cause the hair to get like a black cast on it. I don't know why that happens, but it just happens. And now we're going to do our sideburns, y'all. For your sideburns, make sure you put a lot of glue. I don't know. I don't really have sideburns. If you do have sideburns, it should be covered with the wig cap. But make sure you put a lot of glue. Don't put a lot of glue on your hair. So make sure it's covered with the wig cap. But me, I don't really have sideburns. So also, y'all, to put the lace down after you put the glue underneath it, I just use a scissors to just like tap it down real quick. Now I'm going to be using the rat tail comb to comb the lace into my scalp. Y'all, really make sure you're really getting it in there. You want somebody to be able to pull your hair and it not even move. Like, you want somebody to run up on you and your wig is not going to come off. Y'all, by the way, the more layers you put, the longer it will last. Some people do 4 to 6 layers. I do 3 because 4 to 5 is kind of a lot. And yeah. At this point, you can take your hair out of the ponytail because we're about to flat iron everything back. So make sure you brush it through because you don't want the flat iron getting caught in your hair. Y'all, this is me showing you what the lace looks like so far. It's not melted yet, but we're going to get it there. Now you're going to want to hot comb all of your hair back. Make sure the flat part of the hot comb is on your scalp. Like, your hot comb needs to be shaped like that. If your hot comb is not that shape, it's probably not going to get as flat as possible. Also, if you want your wig flat, make sure your cornrows are flat. The more cornrows you do, the flatter your hair will look. My cornrows are all grown out. That's why it looks like that. I don't know if you've seen the back of my head, but you can't even tell what's a cornrow and what's just hair. But yeah, my cornrows are grown out. So that's why my head looks like it has a weird shape. Like, as you see, it goes up. If that bothers you, then yeah, make sure your cornrows are flat. Once your hair is all hot combed back, you're going to want to start parting out your edges. If it is a used wig or already installed, the edges are probably already going to be there, and you can just go off of that. The short hairs, just take them all out and bring them down. Me, I take all the short hairs and I bring them down. Sometimes I do bring extra hair down and end up cutting it. Sometimes I don't bring all the short hairs down. It really depends on what look you're going for. Me, I love dramatic baby hairs. You might not like dramatic baby hairs, so you bring down less hair. But yeah, this is the hair that I brought down. What I do is I go in a straight line. I don't know if you could tell, but I go in a straight line so that all the baby hairs end at the same point on the lace. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
I was sober for an hour, but I'm rolling off a bean now. The drugs that give me confidence, I'm saying what I need now. The Xannies help me slow, the lean it help me speed down. Ballin', yeah, I'm ballin', I'm gon' hit it if she beat now. Calling, yeah, she calling, your bitch got me on the speed down.
Now that you've taken out all your baby hairs, you're gonna use a wax stick and put it on the rest of the hair. Don't put too much wax. It's better to put less and end up having to add more than to put too much and your hair turns out oily. But now we're gonna just hot comb the hair back one more time with the wax, and you can see the difference. The hair is going back way smoother, way flatter. Now we're about to melt our lace. I'm using the melting spray by Wig Dealer. This is what I use to get my lace to give scalpiana. You're gonna want to spray it in between the hairline and the baby hairs. Don't go too crazy with it though, because when you put the band on, the baby hairs are gonna end up being stuck down because you put too much. Now we're gonna put on our elastic band to help melt the lace. This is also gonna help the baby hairs lay down, which is gonna make it way easier to do them. So even if you don't melt your lace, you should still get this just to make the baby hairs go down. Now we're just gonna leave the band on a little bit to give the lace some time to melt and the hair to go down. When I'm sober, I just don't like who I am. Pull me up before and I feel like myself again. Roll me up some dope and I feel like myself. While you have the band on, you cannot cut your baby hairs. Any baby hairs that were longer or anything that you took out that was extra, you can now cut. I'm going to show you guys how long my baby hairs look with the band on. The ones on the right side are a little too long. I'm going to end up cutting them later, but this is basically how long you want your baby hairs to look if you want the same baby hairs as me. This is how my lace looks once I took off the band. As you can see, she's melted. Don't mind that little sideburn on the left. I know it's crazy, but I'm covering that, so it don't even matter. I've been feeling so down, yeah. Can you tell me why? I'm down. Now we're about to work on our baby hairs. So guys, for your baby hair, you're gonna want to use Eco Styler gel and only put it at the root of the baby hair. Don't put it through the whole baby hair. Put it only at the root. And now I'm going to show you guys how I swoop my baby hair so that it looks a little like wavy kind of. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking my finger and I'm pushing the baby hairs to the opposite direction of the way I want them to come back. And I'm taking my finger and I'm keeping the top in that direction. And then I'm pulling the rest back and swooping it just like that. Now I'm looking in the mirror to do the rest of my baby hairs because it was just easier for me. But if you guys do want an in-depth tutorial on like how to do baby hairs, just comment that down below and I will give you guys one. Now we're going to use our wax stick to take all of the flyaways at the edge of the baby hairs and put them down. And then we're going to go over it with our hot comb just to get this side of my hair flat. Now to flat iron my hair, I part my hair in 2 sections and I brush them out. And then I'm going to be going in with the Chai Chi Silk Infusion. You only need a little bit of this because you don't want your hair to be oily. And you're going to put some on this side. I do half and half. And then I take more and I put some in the other half. This is going to get your hair really soft and really silky for when you're flat ironing it. Now to flat iron, I'm going to be using the Baby Bliss Titanium Flat Iron. And I go in with the flat iron and I follow it with the brush. This just helps the hair get straighter. And we are done. This is how the hair looks when I'm done flat ironing and doing everything. She's giving real arrogant real lace wear, real dramatic baby hers. If you guys have any questions or any requests on videos you guys want me to do, please feel free to comment it down below. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.